Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May my homage to my teacher, Pinot Lokuswamin Wahanse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, dear friends, now we are going to practice our 5-minute meditation. So what we are going to do, observing our thoughts. So you don't have to do anything, just observe your thoughts. Let thoughts come, let them go. Everything that happened during the day may come to your mind. It's okay. Let them come. And if they want to stay in your mind, let them stay. Okay? And then they will leave. Okay? So now make yourself comfortable and straighten your body. Keep your hands in a comfortable position and gently close your eyes. Bring your attention to your mind. And be mindful of your thoughts. Let thoughts come, let them go. Now bring your focus to your body and gently open your eyes. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, dear friends, what happened during the meditation? So many distracting thoughts must have arisen in your mind. Am I right? So what is the reason for that? Why does it happen? Because of the unrestrained sense faculties. So still we haven't restrained our sense faculties. So what are the sense faculties? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So it means we have spent our life without restraining our sense faculties. So if we want to switch off our thoughts, then we have to learn how to restrain our sense faculties. So today we are going to talk about that. So that is another method that we can apply to our life to abandon defilements or negative thoughts in our mind. Okay, first let's go through Sabbāsava Sutta, the first part of the Sabbāsava Sutta. I think a couple of weeks ago we talked about that sutta. Let me share my screen. So I think you remember I did a presentation for the first part of that sutta. Sabbāsava Sutta, all the taints, all the unwholesome states of mind. In the sutta, Buddha said, first, I'm going to teach you how to let go of all the unwholesome states of the mind. Then Buddha said, the freedom from unwholesome states is for the one who knows and sees. What must we know and see? The wise attention or wise thinking, unwise attention, unwise thinking. Unwise attention, unwise thinking. When one thinks unwisely, unarisen negative states arise, and arisen negative states increase. Wise attention, wise thinking. When one thinks wisely, unarisen negative states don't arise, and arisen negative states are abandoned. So in this sutta, Buddha speaks about 7 methods to remove unwholesome states of mind. There are unwholesome states that should be abandoned by seeing, restraining, using wisely, enduring, avoiding, removing, and through meditation. Unwholesome states to be abandoned by seeing. Buddha says there is an ordinary person who doesn't know what he should think and what he should not think. Because of that, they focus on things that they are unskillful, and ignore things that are truly worth paying attention to. Things that we should not think. There are things that when a person thinks about them, unwholesome states that haven't yet arisen appear, and those already present grow stronger. Types of unwise thinking. Did I exist in the past? Did I not exist? If I did exist, who was I? How was I? What kind of person was I? Will I exist in the future? Will I not exist? Who will I be in the future? How will I be? What kind of person will I become? Am I really here? Am I not? Who am I? What kind of person am I? Where did these beings come from, and where will they go after this? So unwise thinking leads to the 6 types of self-views. So I think I didn't explain about those 6 views. Things that we should attain. There are things that when a person thinks about them, unwholesome states that haven't yet arisen do not appear, and those already present are abandoned. And Buddha says the skillful person reflects wisely. They reflect, this is suffering, this is the origin of suffering, this is the cessation of suffering, this is the way leading to the cessation of suffering. So they reflect on 4 noble truths. The noble truth of suffering. Birth is suffering, aging is suffering, sickness is suffering, death is suffering. Sorrow, crying, bodily pain, mental pain, and despair are suffering. Union with what is displeasing is suffering. Separation from what is pleasing is suffering. Not getting what one desires is suffering. In brief, the 5 aggregates of clinging are suffering. The noble truth of the origin of suffering. It's this craving that produces re-existence, accompanied by desire and grasping, finding delight here and there, namely, craving for sensual pleasures, craving for existence, and craving for non-existence. The noble truth of the cessation of suffering. It is the complete cessation of that very craving, giving it up, relinquishing it, liberating oneself from it, and detaching oneself from it. The noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering. It is just this noble eightfold path. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. When they attend wisely in this way, 3 fetters are abandoned in him. 3 defilements, main defilements. View of self, doubt, clinging to rituals and observances. These are called the taints that should be abandoned by seeing. So we discuss about that first method of abandoning defilements. So today we are going to talk about the second method. Unwholesome states to be abandoned by restraining. So in this part, Buddha speaks about the importance of restraining our sense faculties. Right? All the negative things come to our mind through these open doors. So when doors are open, all the bad things come inside. Likewise, when we keep our doors open, then all the negative things, bad things come to our mind. And also within the mind, also negative things arises. Then if we don't restrain our mind, then those things become very strong. And so many mental pains arise within us. So here Buddha explains, defilements that bring irritation and pain arise in one who lives without restraint of the eye. So if we don't restrain our eye, then defilements arise in our mind, and those defilements bring us irritation and mental pain. But in one who lives with restraint of the eye, such defilements do not arise. And defilements that bring irritation and pain arise in one who lives without restraint of the ear. But in one who lives with restraint of the ear, of the eye, such defilements do not arise. So, and it's same for the other sense faculties as well. Nose, tongue, body, and mind. So, when we see visual objects, if we haven't restrained our eye, then what happens? Those information from the external world come to our mind. And then because of that restrained eye, defilements arise in our mind. And whenever there is a defilement, whenever there is a negative thought, there is no peace in our mind. There is no real happiness in our mind. At that moment, there is irritation or mental pain. So sometimes desire arises in our mind. Normally we love desires. Okay? We have a desire for the desire. Okay? That's why we don't want to abandon desires. Okay? So especially when we learn Buddhism, then when we hear, okay, to get rid of all the suffering, we have to get rid of all the desires, then we don't like that. We don't want to hear that. Okay? Why? We have a strong desire for the desire, or we have an attachment to the desires. But even desires, so when there is attachment, then what happens? Yeah, there is some pleasure, but that pleasure is very limited. There is so much mental pain with that. So whenever our sense faculties are not restrained, then defilements arise, and that defilements bring irritation and mental pain. How is someone is unrestrained? Now we have to understand this within us. So let's talk about eyes and visual objects. A person sees a visual object with their eyes. If it is pleasant, they cling to it. If it is unpleasant, they get irritated. They live without mindfulness of the body and with a limited mind. And they don't truly understand the liberation of mind and liberation by wisdom, where those bad, unskillful qualities cease completely without remainder. Okay, this is what happens normally when we see a visual object. So most of the time, we haven't established mindfulness of the body. And also, most of the time, we have a limited mind. Limited mind means like whenever there is some desire or whenever there is some negative thought in our mind, at that moment, our mind is very limited. But when we have some thoughts of loving kindness or thoughts of compassion, at that moment, our mind is expansive. It is not limited at that moment. So, most of the time, we live without mindfulness established and also with a limited mind. And here, there's another thing Buddha explains. They don't truly understand the liberation of mind and liberation by wisdom. So, liberation of mind and liberation by wisdom, where are those defilements completely removed without remainder? Okay, so let's talk about this thing. So what is this liberation of mind and liberation by wisdom? Okay. So it means it speaks about two types of meditation, samatha and vipassana. So actually, whenever we hear that word meditation, we think about someone sit with crossed legs, with closed eyes, and doing something, okay? Or doing nothing, okay? But actually, meditation is a very broad topic in Buddhism. So actually, if we do anything in our life with mindfulness and wisdom, and then it becomes a meditation. It becomes a meditation. So samatha meditation, in Buddhism, there are two types of meditation, samatha and vipassana. Samatha meditation means the calm meditation. So it helps us to calm down our mind, and also it helps us to develop our concentration, samatha. Vipassana, insight meditation, understanding the true nature of our lives. So what is the true nature? Everything is subject to change. Nothing is permanent. Everything is not me, not mine, not myself. Or in other words, like understanding the Four Noble Truths. there are moments that we should practice samatha meditation. There are moments that we should practice insight meditation, vipassana. So, when we practice samatha meditation, some defilements are abandoned in our mind. Okay. So, if defilements are abandoned through samatha meditation, we call it liberation of mind. Liberation of mind. So, when defilements are removed through samatha meditation, it's called the liberation of mind. Chitta vimukti. The Pali word is the chitta vimukti. Okay. And when defilements are removed through insight meditation or vipassana meditation, then that liberation, because when our mind is free from defilements, it's a liberation. Okay? Otherwise, we are in that prison, okay? The prison of defilements. But when there are no defilements in our mind, when there are no negative thoughts in our mind, it's a liberation. Liberation from those negative thoughts and also liberation from suffering. Why? Whenever there is a negative thought, whenever there is a defilement, it's a suffering. When negative thoughts or defilements are removed through insight meditation, so that liberation is called liberation of wisdom. Liberation of wisdom. So, when someone knows liberation of mind and liberation of wisdom as it is, then it helps them to restrain their sense faculties. Okay, can it be said that every time we are present, we are meditating? Yes, you can call it we are meditating. Okay? So, actually, when we meditate, even negative thoughts come to our mind. If we know about that, we are present. Okay? So, however, just being present is not enough in Buddhism. Okay? We need to understand the present moment is also subject to change. It is not permanent. It's not permanent. Okay? So here, Buddha says, like, we need to have these two types of understanding. So then, if someone knows about liberation of mind and liberation of wisdom as it is, then when there are defilements in their mind, they know what I should do. They know whether I practice samatha meditation or vipassana meditation. Okay? So now sometimes we cannot figure out which meditation I should practice. Okay? So, but when we have a good understanding about liberation of mind and liberation of wisdom, then when there is a defilement in our mind, then we know which type of meditation I should practice. Then very easily we can abandon it. Then our mind is liberated from those defilements. So, but when someone doesn't know about that, and also when someone hasn't established mindfulness of body, and when someone has a limited mind, then their sense faculties are not restrained. Then all the negative things come to their mind. And also the negative things, the defilements in their mind escalates. So that's why to restrain our sense faculties, we have to develop mindfulness on body, and also always we need to have a mind with wholesome thoughts, and also we should understand liberation of mind and liberation of wisdom. Or in other words, how I should practice samatha meditation appropriately to the situation. How should I practice vipassana meditation appropriately to the situation? So that's why sometimes I say in our Sunday classes, we cannot practice the same meditation all the time. So there are moments that we cannot practice vipassana meditation. And there are moments that we cannot practice samatha meditation. So that's why we need to have a good knowledge about the teachings of the Buddha. So when we have a good knowledge of the teachings of the Buddha, then we know which weapon I should use to defeat the enemies. Otherwise, we try to use the same weapon. Sometimes it doesn't work. So we need to store all the teachings of the Buddha in our mind. Then we know, okay, now there is a defilement. Let's say anger. Okay, anger has arisen in my mind. Then I know, okay, I can practice maybe loving kindness meditation now. So here is another thing. It doesn't mean like you sit down and then you contemplate on loving kindness meditation, that regular meditation. It's not like that. You can just have some thoughts of loving kindness in your mind. Oh, may all beings in this world be free from anger. So at that moment, you practice a meditation. Or maybe you cannot practice a loving kindness meditation. Maybe you can practice impermanent meditation. Again, you are not practicing it with closed eyes. Okay? Instead, you just focus on that. Then you try to understand the impermanence of anger or the causes of anger or the state of your mind. So then, in that way, you practice insight meditation. Or maybe you can bring your focus to your breath. Or maybe you can bring your focus to your body. So then, in that way, you can abandon those defilements. So, in another sutta, Buddha gave a nice simile, wonderful simile for that. Buddha said, suppose a person has caught 6 different animals. A snake, a crocodile, a bird, a dog, a jackal, and a monkey. 6 animals. And they tied each one with a strong rope, and then they are tied, and all the ropes are tied together using a knot in the middle, and then let them loose. Okay. So each animal is tied with a strong rope. Then all the ropes are tied together with a knot. And then they let them go anywhere. Then what happened? Each animal would try to run toward its own place. So snake tried to go to his place, crocodile tried to go to the water, bird tries to fly into the sky. So those 6 animals try to go to 6 directions. And then what happened? After some time, because each other pull other animals to their direction, and after some time, they become tired and exhausted. So at that moment, the strongest animal would drag all the others along, and the rest would have to give up and follow that strong animal at that moment. So likewise, okay, our eyes pulls us toward visual objects. Our ears pulls us toward sounds. Nose pulls us toward good smells. Tongue pulls us toward sweet taste. Body pulls us toward pleasant physical sensations. And also mind pulls us toward some pleasant thoughts, maybe some pleasant memories. Okay? So those six sense faculties pulls us towards 6 directions. So because of that, what happened? We become exhausted. We become tired. So that's why we feel tired in our life. Okay? So why so many things happen inside of our mind? Because of unrestrained sense faculties. So, but someone develop mindfulness in their life. Okay? How is someone restrained? A person live with mindfulness of the body established and with an expansive mind. They clearly understand the liberation of mind and liberation by wisdom, where those bad, unskillful qualities cease completely without remainder. So when they see a visual object with their eyes, if it is pleasant, they don't cling to it. If it is unpleasant, they don't get irritated. And now their mind is in peace. And because of that, defilements don't arise in their mind. Even if there is a defilement has already arisen, it is abandoned gradually. So new defilements will not arise in their mind. So this is how someone is restrained. So we have to develop mindfulness on body. Okay. How do we do that? We practice breathing meditation. It is a one way to develop our mindfulness on our body. And also there are other meditation, and also we practice in our meditation classes, we have practiced contemplation on 4 great elements. And also when we pay attention to our body, it's another way of developing mindfulness of the body. And we also try to expand our mind by practicing meditations like loving kindness meditation. So here's the thing. We should make those meditation a part of our life. So we should try to practice those meditation all the time. So then gradually we can develop our mindfulness and we can keep expanding our mind. And also then we should learn about the liberation of mind and liberation by wisdom. So just learning is not enough. We have to apply it to our life. That's how we can become master of those methods. Because we can learn, when there is an anger, you can practice loving kindness meditation. Or when there is greed in your mind, okay, you can practice impermanent meditation. Okay? We can learn. But by just learning, we cannot have a good understanding about the liberation of mind and liberation by wisdom. We have to apply it to our life. Then we know, oh, when I practice samatha meditation, I can abandon anger. Or when I practice impermanent meditation, I can get rid of sleepiness. Okay? Then we have that knowledge, that understanding within us. Okay? So then, in that sutta, Buddha gave that simile. Okay? It's not in here. Okay? So then Buddha says, imagine a person catches 6 animals. Okay? Again, there's a snake, a crocodile, a bird, a dog, a jackal, and a monkey. And they tie each animal with a strong rope, and then they tie all those ropes to a post, very strong post, very steady. Now what happened? Again, those animals try to drag each other to their direction. But now they are tied into that strong, steady post. Because of that, they cannot go anywhere. Then after some time, they become very tired and exhausted. Then they lie down near that post. So likewise, Buddha says, when you develop mindfulness on your body, yes, at the beginning, again, our eyes try to pull us toward pleasant visual objects. Our ears try to pull us up towards pleasant sound. But we keep practicing mindfulness on body. Then after some time, we will be able to restrain our sense faculties. Then there will be a moment our eyes will not pull us toward the pleasant forms. Our ears will not pull us toward pleasant sound. Then our sense faculties are restrained. So, and also at the same time, we can develop our understanding about the liberation of mind and liberation of wisdom by learning and also by applying those methods into our life. So then gradually we will be able to abandon those defilements in our mind. So if there are defilements to be abandoned by restraining our sense faculties, those defilements should be abandoned by restraining sense faculties. We cannot abandon those defilements through meditation, just sitting meditation. Okay? And if there are defilements to be abandoned by restraining our sense faculties, we cannot get rid of those defilements by avoiding or enduring or through any other method. So that's why there are defilements that should be abandoned by restraining our sense faculties. Then we have to restrain our sense faculties. Okay, so that is the teaching for today. The second method, we discuss about the second method of abandoning defilements in our mind. So may we all be able to develop this skill in our life, and may we all be able to abandon defilements in our mind and have a peaceful mind and realize the Four Noble Truths and attain bliss of happiness, Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you. I feel like I have a lot of questions, but I'll just ask them in the order that comes to my mind. I'm trying to leave room for other people. I feel like the word like restrain is like kind of like conflicting with what I've learned in Buddhism so far.
Mhm.
It seems to me like you're trying to resist a sensation, whereas I feel like it's almost like I'm not trying to sound too poetic here, but it's almost like you don't want the sense, you don't want to be restrained by the sensory feeling. You want to be free from the sensory feeling. But if you're, to my mind, if you're trying to restrain the sensory feeling, it's almost like you're burying it and it's like it evokes tension to me. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, yeah. So, yeah, I understand it, Ian. So, if you decide, okay, from today I'm not gonna watch any movie. From today I'm not gonna listen to any music. Okay. So then you cannot do that. Okay. You will go insane. Okay. Okay. So this is a step-by-step process. Okay. So this is the restraining sense faculties is a result of your practice.
Okay,
It's a
gotcha.
result of your
Uh,
practice. Yeah. So what is the practice? Developing your mindfulness on your body.
and it's more of a, sorry to interrupt, but maybe more of a metaphor, not to like literally make an effort to restrain it, but they, as a result, they get restrained.
Yeah, that's right. They will get restrained.
I'm trying to understand the division between, and maybe there isn't much of a division between Vipassana and Samatha meditation, and in terms of what is used for what, because I think you gave some examples here and there of like, okay, Vipassana can be used for, I think you said greed, but I mean like I feel like they're almost interchangeable. Like samatha, if you feel like greed arising, you can kind of see it more clearly because you're more calm. So I feel like they're almost interchangeable. I
Yeah,
just don't know if there's a clear division. And
you
yeah,
cannot give a clear division. I mean, because for example, normally when you get angry, to abandon it, practice loving kindness meditation. Okay. So loving kindness meditation is a samatha type meditation, calm meditation. Okay. So that is the normally most what is the most common advice normally we give to the people. Okay, but however, it doesn't work to everyone. Okay? For example, for me, okay, I cannot practice loving kindness meditation when I get angry. I don't do that. So, but inside meditation helps me to get rid of anger when I get angry. So I don't remember any moment that I have practiced loving kindness meditation. There might be some moments but very rarely I have practiced loving kindness meditation to get rid of anger when I get angry. Most of the time, like I try to be mindful of my feelings, or I try to understand the impermanence because I had a very bad temper when I was in high school. Mainly impermanent meditation helped me a lot to get rid of that. So that's why, because people are different. People are different. Okay, for some people, samatha helps a lot. For some people, insight meditation helps a lot. But however, at the end, we have to develop both types of meditation, samatha and vipassana.
So Bante, I'm just maybe like looking for a more like a process of doing. So for example, like if you crave like a food item, what kind of defilement is that, and what do you do to get rid of that?
Okay, great question, CB. Okay, so I also try to get rid of my craving for the food. Okay, yeah, actually, it is a desire for the sensual pleasures. Why? Because when you take food, all the sensual pleasures are there. Okay, because when you eat food, like you can gratify your eyes. Okay, when you look at the food, like you gratify your eyes. Oh, and also your ears. Okay, maybe you chew your food, and also you hear about that food. Okay, and the smell, and your nose and the tongue, and also the texture of the food. Okay, so all the sensual pleasures are there. Okay, so actually it's a part of desire for the sensual pleasures. And to get rid of that craving, okay, that we have for the food, what I practice is impermanent meditation. Okay, after eat something, so there are so many methods that you can apply. So one thing you can do, like after you eat something, you can focus on the impermanence of feelings that you get through that food. Okay? You can focus, normally you can think, okay, there was a feeling when I was eating that food, there was a pleasant feeling, but now it has over. Okay? So you try to understand that that pleasure that I get, or the pleasant feeling that I get through the food, is very limited. Okay? It is only for a very small period of time. Then you try to understand, oh, it is not permanent thing. It is subject to change. It is impermanent. So then it helps you to get rid of the craving that you have for the food. So then the next time when you are about to eat that food, then you know, okay, yes, I will get some pleasure, some happiness, some pleasant feelings through this food, but it is very limited and it is come to the end. So then gradually, when you do it consistently, gradually we will be able to get rid of the craving that we have toward the food. So that is one thing. And then another thing we can do, like eat mindfully. Okay? Eat mindfully. Actually, we experience the real taste only for one moment or 2 moments. Most of the time we enjoy the mental image of that food. Does it make sense, CB? So even right now, okay, we are not tasting any food, but if we remember some food, like we attach to it, but it's not the real food, it's just a mental object inside of the mind. So actually we enjoy the real taste of a food only for 1 moment, okay? Or maybe 2 moments. Most of the time we get some happiness by thinking about that food, or by thinking about the taste of that food. So if we when we eat, if we can do it mindfully, then we can focus on those different things. Like when you touch a food, you don't eat. Okay? And also when you chew the food, and then when you taste the food, like all the time you can be mindful of it. Then it also helps us to get rid of the craving that you have for the food. Okay? So I think we can practice those 2 things. Okay? And it will help us to get rid of the craving for the food. So maybe if we get a chance in future, we will try to practice mindful eating on our Sunday program. Okay? But however, on Sunday program, I cannot eat. Okay? I can drink something because we do the fasting after 12.
Hi, Bante. So I have a couple of questions. The first one is, what does the craving for non-existence mean?
Craving for non-existence. Okay. Like sometimes we have a desire to live without any thoughts or without doing anything. Okay? So some meditation practitioners, like, they develop it as a meditation, okay? And then they will be reborn in some realms. It's like a deep sleep. Okay? It's like a deep sleep. Okay? So it is a part of the desire for the non-existence.
Okay.
Another thing, so it is a one aspect. Another aspect is when you have suffering, you badly want to escape from that. You don't want to experience it. Badly you want to get rid of that. So it is a part of desire for the non-existence. Like you want suffering not to exist at that moment. Okay? And you wanna desperately you want to escape from that. Okay? So that is a part of a desire or the craving for the non-existence. Does it make?
Yeah, it makes sense. So would that be like for people who have like mental health, or they just want to they don't want to experience their suffering. They want to sort of numb it. Would that be like the same as saying?
Yes,
I see.
it's like
Okay.
that. And also
Okay.
that's why people kill themselves.
Yes.
Kill
Yes.
themselves.
Correct. Yeah.
So it is a part. It happens because of the desire for the non-existence.
Okay. So the other question is more like when you said to practice like the samatha meditation, like the calm meditation, and vipassana, practicing the Four Noble Truths and seeing things as they really are, and they're sort of interchangeable, right? So depending on the situation, you would apply, that type of meditation. Like, for example, vipassana, I was trying to apply that today. Today's it's a long weekend here in Canada. So, I really wanted to sit outside with my husband and just, eat and do whatever and just hang out. But then I knew I sort of had enough of doing that, on Saturday, Sunday. So I sort of want to cut off that. I wanted to stop the sensual pleasure. So I knew if I sat there, at some point I was going to get irritated. Like he may say something that's going to irritate. Like I know it's going to come. Like there always, some type of an argument. So I was practicing the Vipassana meditation and sort of, okay, I'm not going to, that's why I messaged you, are we going to have meditation? Because I wanted to like set my day where it was free from unwholesome things and thinking, and looking forward to something more wholesome, doing something more wholesome for myself, as opposed to engaging with my husband, who I knew at some point I was going to get irritated for something or another. Anyways, it's just something I was trying to practice with the two meditations you mentioned today.
Yeah. So at any occasion you can practice this meditation, like even during the pleasant situation as well. Because we cling to the pleasant situation, but we should understand even this happiness is subject to change. It's not permanent. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. I practice that sometime in the office where, there are people with different sort of, they have different mentality, different mindset, and you may see it one way, they may see it another way. So I try to like really practice like the loving kindness meditation towards certain people. They can say things, but that are, not right speech. So I practice stuff like that in the office when I'm there.
Yeah, you can practice loving kindness meditation. Like you can spread love and compassion toward them. And when they say something, maybe something that you don't like some unpleasant thing, then you can practice vipassana. You can contemplate on the impermanence of those unpleasant feelings.
Well, the start of the university starting tomorrow, so it's gonna be so busy. I think I'm gonna be doing a lot of contemplation, a lot of vipassana and metta, practicing a lot. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But thank you, Bhante. The teaching was good.
Okay, so then we can end today's session. So today we collect a lot of merit, good karma by discussing this a wonderful teaching of the Buddha. So by the power of all the good karma you collected today, with the blessings of Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, may you have a long life, healthy life. May you have a peaceful mind. May you be successful in your endeavors. May you be able to realize the Four Noble Truths and attain bliss of happiness, Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now I'm going to chant verses of blessing. Close your eyes and listen to me. Abhivadana silis niccang vaddapachayino chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha hato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu. May you have long life and be free from illness. May you attain bliss of happiness. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, thank you so much for joining today. May you be well and happy and have a good night.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante. Namo Buddhaya.
Yeah.
Namo Buddhaya, Swami Nahanse.
Namo
Jalan
Buddhaya.
sana.
Terima kasih.